This is the Sarasota Technology User Groups. Let's Talk AI for April 24th, 2026. I want to put the date in there because I had a couple of them. I wasn't sure what month that I had recorded them. I never mentioned it, and I didn't put it in the title when I posted it. So, anyway, I'm glad you're here. If you're watching the replay video on YouTube, uh, we'll try to cover some things. Hopefully you'll learn some things from us. And for those of you who are online, and there are several of you right now, uh, we're going to have a discussion. It's not a class. I don't teach because I don't know a lot of this stuff. I play around with it and try to figure things out like you do. And what we try to do is help each other and talk about things that we've done or tried and so on. And this past week, I've been so busy with other things, I haven't been doing much with AI. And you know what? Everybody came out with new versions that are supposed to be better than everything else. So I'm behind a week, which means I'm behind a year. So, so hopefully some of you have played with some of the newer versions of items that are out there, but uh, and then I've got a few things up my sleeve that I can show if we don't have a lot of discussions. So I'll start with you. Is there anything anyone wants to talk about? Is it something you've tried this week, something new, the new Chat GPT or the new Gemini? There's some new things, a lot of things it can do. The new Canvas stuff is just amazing.
Yeah, that's what I want to ask about. I saw that in your email about Canva because I'm struggling to learn that now, taking a course. And so I just saw that and I wanted you to tell me what that was about.
Well, I really haven't had a chance to look at too many things, but one of the things that I really like, and they had it before this week, is let me I'll share my screen. Share screen one. Let me open up the sound just in case I probably need to turn that off just in case something starts up that shouldn't. Okay, you should see pretty much a bare screen except for the
Mm.
so let's go ahead and I'm going to hit Canva and there it is. And you can see I've tried different things and played with, but Magic Layers is one of the things. But the other thing that came out this week, and it's called Canva AI. Let's click on it and see what it says. Magic Layer, remove background, and there's some things here. That's earlier.
Mm-hmm.
And sneak peek. Let's take a look and see what that does. Discover Canva AI 2.0.
Okay.
Design summer campaign. You can see this. Write a business plan. Oh, I got to do this. And what's the last one here? I think it's the last one. And I think you can gain access. You're one of the first to watch the keynote to find out how. I watched the keynote live. Now let's close this. I think I've got it here. Canva AI. And so I think I have it. I just don't know what to do with it. So I haven't gone that far. But the one thing that I do really like, and let's go to let's see, how do I get back to the home here? Magic layers. I'm not sure if you're familiar with that, but let me go ahead and open it up and let me
Yeah,
upload.
I'm just learning.
I'm going to say upload this and I'm going to say, okay, open it.
How would you describe Canva? What does it do?
It's a program that does all kinds of designs and
Oh,
uh,
more graphic media
yeah,
type.
yeah, yeah, but it also does a lot of others. So, okay,
Okay.
here's what I want, and it's doing the layers now to figure out and make things in different layers. But what you're going to see from a flat picture, it changes things. So I can take this. Let's see. Let me find the right one here. I can take that and move it somewhere.
Ah,
Well, that's the way Photoshop works too. It's all in layers.
You're right, but this
Yep.
this isn't in layers. It creates the layers with what's there.
Oh.
It takes a flat picture and makes it layered.
Yeah,
mhm.
so I can put that there and then take this. Let's see.
What constitutes a layer? Just a letter A or one or two
Well,
or
it figures that out. Sometimes it's a whole
oh,
word, sometimes it's a letter, sometimes it's a couple of words, like it's YouTube video. You can see that what I'm moving around.
okay.
Yeah, it's
Can
a
you
lot
can you
easier with the,
can
the this way. You don't, you can move things around and change it
Yeah,
can you
a
then
lot
port
easier.
that into Photoshop? The layers?
I don't know that. That's
Well, this would replace Photoshop. Why
yeah,
do
yeah, yeah,
Photoshop?
No,
yeah.
no, it would certainly help with it for sure.
I don't know. You'd have to. That's
That
something.
would actually,
That's your assignment for the week, Steve.
Right.
yeah,
Yeah.
that would actually save a lot of time having to do
Yeah, I
that.
don't want to learn Photoshop or Photo Elements. I'm past that. So I'm
It's
more
too hard.
interested in the quicker, best way.
Okay, Kathy C is requesting meeting questions. By clicking enable, the web setting for this feature will be enabled for your account. The feature will be turned on for this meeting and available for hosts to turn on in the future. You can change this at any time in settings. I'm not sure what that is, Kathy, so I'm going to say not now because I don't know what it will do. If you want to ask anything, just go ahead and open your mic. And if you don't have a mic, go ahead and just click in the chat. I'm not sure who Kathy C is. But anyway, so you get an idea here. But one of the other things, let's go ahead and let's see, how do I do a new?
So that was Canva AI that will
This is part of,
generate the
this is
layers?
just, this is part of Canva. Yeah. Make
Okay.
available offline changes saved. No, I don't want to do that at all. I want to start from scratch.
But
Just
can
try.
you then save that out with the layers to a file?
I believe so. It's then a file with the layers that you can open up again. Doing it all those. So that's the magic layers. Magic edit. And let's see what this does. Split image split into editable layers. How do I just get rid of that and start with a fresh one? Um, Try home. There we go. Okay, now magic layers. And then where were we? It was doing something else. Presentation, social media. Well, let's look at the AI stuff, what we have here. Um, Photo collage creation. You can, so you can put together collages. And they could look like this. Collage art ideas, thumbnail creations. I want to learn about this because this is what I do with a lot of, for all my videos, I like to have, they're using Matt Wolf in the examples. Resize image to size, then click resize or copy and resize to apply change. Here's the image I want to be a thumbnail. Okay, let's take that and see what we got. Turn this image into a thumbnail in Canva. Upload the image to your Canva workspace, then resize it from the toolbar. Okay, so if I find a picture of something here, um, everything I got here is already a thumbnail. So let's take a picture of somebody here. And we'll do this. So I grabbed a picture, screenshot of Carl here. We're going to make it smaller here. I think that's it. Yeah. Okay, so now what we want to do is save it. Save as, we're just going to call it test1, test Carl, underscore Carl. Okay, and then save it. Okay, so we can close this out. And now we're going to turn this into Canva. I probably have to upload it. Well, I don't want to spend a lot of time trying to figure it out, but yeah, apparently you can do some things with that. Um, and then a YouTube thumbnail. That's what I do a lot of. But resize image from the toolbar. I'm not sure if that makes it bigger and adds things to it or not. That's what I was hoping it might. So there's different things that you can do, but Canva does so many things. You can make slideshows. You can make, they're saying that you can do newsletters with it. Uh, you can do this sort of thing. Uh, and brands. There's lots of things you can do with it. Okay, so I'm going to close that and stop the share. Anyone here use Canva? You probably know it better than I do. I keep taking classes, but by the time I get to chapter 2, there's something brand new that came out in it.
I'm
And
like
so
you, Huey. I'm learning by the seat of my pants as I go.
I just learned something, a term I hadn't heard, YouTube thumbnails. What is that about?
well, um, those are the things that you see. Let me show you a YouTube. Let's see. Participants share. I'll leave sound off just in case. What did I do wrong here?
When you're browsing in YouTube, what you see is a thumbnail of the video.
Yeah.
Now, the creator can create a custom thumbnail, or they can just leave it out and it will take sort of the first frame of the video and make that the thumbnail.
Let's go to YouTube and I'll go to, well, we can use this view this channel. These are thumbnails.
Yeah, I guess what's otherwise known as clickbait, right?
Well, they can be, they don't
No,
have to
it's a
be.
title slide.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
Well, I mean, a lot of them you'll see some picture that's pretty dramatic, and you'll click on it to see what it's about and find out it has nothing to
Yeah,
do with
that's the
what
way
the image
it,
is.
or it does, and it just emphasizes it. And that's the
Yeah.
way it should be. But yeah, so and making these has been a chore. And now Canva does it even better and it does more, but I don't know how to do it in Canva. I'm using some of the thumbnail creators in Galaxy AI, and And I've tried a couple of the program thumbnail programs or apps that are out there, but they're all fairly expensive.
Oh, I see your thumbnail right there on organizing under videos. Is
Yeah,
it?
yeah. That's the one that I put together for the last month's Let's Talk AI.
It's kind of like a cover of a book.
That's correct.
Right.
It's an advertisement or cover
Mm.
for the book.
Is Canva free or is it paid version?
They have both. There is a free version, but it is somewhat limited. There is paid. It's not expensive. I don't recall how much it is, but and Judy, I'm not sure if you know this or not, but I believe nonprofits can ask for a copy and they will let you have it and assign people to it.
Ah, thank you.
So you might want to check on that by going to their website and find out what nonprofits can do.
Right.
Yeah,
And same,
a couple of years ago, I started using it. A little awkward to get going, and actually, just to say what Huey says, I think the Presbyterian Church USA made some arrangements to get free copies, and I think each church is allowed to assign 2 people to the full package. And I know my library just started offering classes, but they hold the classes at times I can't make it. So, but it is an amazing product. It does a lot, but I don't think it's the only one out there now. I think there's other stuff that's catching up to it. And I used it to make posters for our church for, meetings and guest speakers and things like that.
for many years, and I still have an account, and I did a couple of videos on it. It's called Poster My Wall, which is quite inexpensive. And that does a lot of the layer stuff. And it was so easy to use that I didn't bother with Canva. But now with Canva doing what it's doing, it's still sometimes a little bit kludgy because it tries to figure out what should be in a box. Where Poster My Wall, will put everything in it. And if you haven't seen my video on Poster My Wall, go to my Huey P on YouTube and do a search for Poster My Wall. And I love the program, but I'm not using it as much because I'm doing so much with AI.
JJ here. I think Canva is costing somewhere between about $130, $140 per year. I've been playing around with Canva for a couple of months now because I know Publisher is going away. And I imported my Publisher file into Canva and set up a template for my newsletter. Once Publisher goes away, I'll probably start using Canva to publish my newsletter.
Uh, Di, did you hear that? You're muted.
Yes, I did hear that. And I have attempted to do the newsletter on Canva a long time ago, but I just gave up because I couldn't link the pages. You may be able to do that now. I haven't tried, and I'll look at it again.
Yeah, I'm between. I also have a copy of Xfinity Publisher also, but I've been using that for years. But we'll see how it works out.
Yeah. Yeah, keep me posted. That sounds interesting.
Well, and I haven't had time to do it. And it's one of the things let's see, John was asking, I was wondering if Canva will work as a replacement for Publisher. That's what they're saying, but it's not going to be the same.
Right.
And I think Di is finding that out that the one nice thing about Publisher, you could link page 1 to page 2 to page 3, and then you could say go to at the bottom of the article, you say go to page 6, and it would take you there and that sort of thing. I don't
And
think
the
it does
major-
that, but yeah.
Yeah. And the
But,
major thing for me was the space around the desktop. So yeah, there are a lot of issues.
But I one of the things I wanted to try was just to take some articles and say, build me a newsletter using these articles in one of the AI programs. I'm wondering what it will do.
Yeah, I'd be interested in that too.
Well,
And yet, in all the surveys I've done of APCUG groups, they want the newsletters to read from the top to the bottom. They don't want to be on page 3 and have to go to page 6. It's a waste of their time. And then they have to go back up to page 3 to read the article that was next to it. and they just want it to flow and they want it one column.
Well, then I think then AI should work real well for that,
Hey,
and probably
Word,
and
Word
probably
has that
Canva.
well.
And
No, no,
that's all
Word.
well and yeah, and that's all well and good, but when I talk about linking, it's not going from one page to the next. It's just linking the bottom of the page to the next page without having to manually do it. And that's the one of the main issues.
There
Okay,
are
any other
people,
comment?
there are people like the Los Angeles Club, which wants to be able to go from line or one place to another place.
Mhm.
But we have a long thing. It's not something that's just 3 pages or something. We have 20.
Anyone else using something for newsletters, using any of the newer stuff, the AI stuff at all? I just haven't had time to play with it. And I don't want to learn how to do it because I'll end up getting stuck doing it.
Yeah, I know. Well, I'm always looking for other things graphic wise. I do other things, cards and journals and folios. But the newsletter, I just went back to Word and shortened my newsletter and do a PDF for now.
And it looks wonderful.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. But I already told you that.
Yes, you did. But it's always nice to be told again.
I know. In public. No,
In public, that's right.
it's an excellent newsletter. Poo-poo to publisher. You don't need to use it in any way, shape, or form. And many groups can't get a new newsletter editor because they want them to learn a desktop publishing program, and it hasn't been necessary for years. That's not what your members want.
Yeah, I love doing our newsletter and I'll share it with anybody who emails me. So,
Do you use a template and then just put things in it?
Mhm.
well, basically, the first one you're going to build it in Word, and you're going to have text boxes and all that stuff. And the next month you're just going to delete and replace
Yep.
and move
Okay.
things around as is. And that's what I do all the time. And I try not to link articles from page 1 to page 6 and so forth. I just go page 1 to page 2. But I still use columns. And because you want to add you throughout the newsletter, you want to add little tidbits of information, like a tip here and there or a piece of graphic art or whatever. You just don't want straight text from top to bottom. Now, if somebody wants to read that, all well and good. If you put your newsletter, and I do out online on my website, and you pull it up, you can always hit reader view, and that's what you've got. You've got a straight top to bottom, if you go to reading view on your web page. So there are all kinds of options out there.
Just out of curiosity, and let's see what happens when I do this. Let me go ahead and share again.
Remember,
And
raise your hand.
let me go ahead and minimize that. And I am going to bring up Chat GPT and say, can you create a
For a senior tech group.
Okay, so that's done this. Try this, page 3. Let's see what it happens. Final thoughts. Stay connected. If you like, I can turn this into a print-friendly PDF, format it into a Word document or convert it into a PowerPoint. Uh, let's make it, and let's see what it does.
While it's doing that, my UCLA kid is going to spend a week in Las Vegas learning about using AI in every single department that a business might have. It's a huge conference, and she's so excited it's pathetic.
See, and Carl, we were talking earlier, remember stuff, says, or brand it with your Stug CFCS styling. And I didn't say anything about that,
Mhm.
but okay, so download AI Insights newsletter, and if I could add images. So let's take a look at it first, what it is, and then we'll tell it to add the images. And there's the newsletter, page 1. Somebody has got some talking in the background. Can you mute yourself, please?
Carl.
Okay, so let me find Carl and mute him.
I created a presentation specifically for a Canadian group on digital wallets and every time I do something, it asks me, do you want it Canadian? No, no.
Jolene has her hand raised.
By the way,
Yeah,
Okay, John?
a thought just came to me. For years I've thought about the way everybody has a computer, but everybody uses a computer differently. You know, you have your PC, you have your Macs, but even in the PC world, we've got the difference between different manufacturers and different ways of doing things and the way we set them up. And AI to me is now becoming like that. We have all of these different tools that are there, but each of us work a little differently. So Huey, you're comfortable with ChatGPT. I'm a Perplexity gal. Gemini has improved lately or evolved lately to kind of make me look at that more closely. I haven't quite had the time to really work with AI imaging, but I'm trying to get to that and get to Canva and get to some of the other tools that we have out there. But it's interesting to me. I mean, I know just that combination of no matter what's out there, there are enough people to have, there's a niche for everything and everybody. Just
That
like
and also what you can do in Perplexity and in Gemini, for what a lot of us do, it doesn't matter which one you use. It will do something very similar.
It's what you
When you
become
start
comfortable with. Just like
but
with
if you're comfortable,
just like a personal computer, it's what you become
right,
comfortable with.
Mhm.
absolutely. But what I'm doing in ChatGPT, you probably could do the same thing and get a very similar result
Oh, I'm boy, am I doing
in
in Perplexity,
Perplexity.
boy.
Yeah.
It's almost a little scary how much of a conversational tone I have with it, that it's really it's just if you see me
Best
going down the
friend.
rabbit hole too deeply, please pull me back.
Yeah. No, it's your new best friend.
Oh,
Yeah.
tell me, oh my
Marcia,
goodness, yes.
I can see how it happens with kids, and they would believe this and go off the deep end. It would be so easy if you're
Absolutely. If there are broken pieces that
I try the same thing in several
yeah,
AIs that I
I
use, and
often
I
do
just
that.
choose the one I like best.
Yeah,
Or
John, do you
I
use
combine.
do you use the voice activated one where you can start verbal conversations
you
with it?
can with all of them.
All of them you can, and I do.
Yeah, but the perplexity one, it's amazing. You ask it something, and if you forget to turn it off, and you're in a room with other people, it joins in the
Oh, I
conversation.
don't. Yeah, I don't. I mean,
It's
I'm
hilarious.
focused on. I have not experienced that, but I will watch out for that. But no, I don't keep it running. I don't keep any of them running.
Oh,
I
mine are all open.
For years, I have talked to my computer and it doesn't talk back. So I'm happy turning it on when I need it and then saying goodbye.
Jolene, I'm just glad Gemini is a male voice. Otherwise, I'd have fantasies.
And you can change those too.
It's already she's already a Brit to me.
Okay, now let's see. I went ahead and said to add images, improve the layout, and use the Stug CFCS styling. So let's see what it does. Download. Okay. So, but what it's saying is this version includes cleaner layout, better spacing, two-column section for readability, visual placeholders for images. It's placeholders. It's not putting the images in there. And Stug and CFCS branding colors. And then if you want to take one step further, I can replace the placeholders with AI generated images, add your logos, convert this into trifold brochure type and match your exact Eagle Village or presentation branding. Let's just go ahead and take a look to see what it did with the placeholders. Okay. That's page 1. There's page 2. It's not, I wouldn't say this was a newsletter.
That sucks big time.
Yeah. But you, for what I asked it, it gave me what I asked for. And then you can, okay, put this article in for the tip of the month. Put this article, and it can be 3 or 4 paragraphs, and it'll replace it.
Right. But there's your idea, and then you could find your tip and put it in yourself and stuff like that. So basically, for somebody who's clueless about putting a newsletter together, there are some ideas for them.
Yeah, that's right.
It's a start.
Okay, so I'm going to take this and just let's go to Perplexity. Do the same thing. Helpful.
You want to address Marcia Berkeley's?
Oh, I'm sorry, Marcia. Go ahead.
No problem. The comment was made that everybody has computers, and in our group here, we do. But in the group where I live, they don't. They've gotten, so many have gotten rid of their computers and they're using tablets and phones. Does this work on mobile phones very well?
Yeah. Oh my God, yes. I was sitting at a stoplight this morning and had a thought, asked it a question, Perplexity, because it's right there. Sitting at the stoplight, tapped the voice activator, asked it the question. When I came home, I opened it on my computer. I could have opened it on my phone, but I came home, opened Perplexity on my computer, and there was my answer. So
that's great. I do know my daughter has a Tesla, and she talks to it on her way to work.
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
so here,
my daughters both talk to their cars.
Here's what Perplexity did with the same thing. Newsletter close. Would you like me to turn this into a clean newsletter layout with a title column? And let's say yes to see what it does.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm curious to see if it does columns.
Oh, you have to ask it.
You have to ask it to. Oh, sorry.
Well, he said columns right there. Didn't you?
Let's see what it did.
Something said columns.
Oh. Turn a more polished one column printout or 2
column. One.
Yeah.
Okay.
There you
Because
go.
it's asking you about columns.
Yeah. So let's
scroll back up a little bit.
That's your conversation with your new best friend.
Just click
Confirming
on the
next.
second one there, Huey.
this one.
I asked it to do columns.
And then there's such a thing as newspaper columns too, which is different.
Yeah. But the thing is that, we're talking about peanuts, and we're having a discussion about peanut butter. So basically, what I'm showing here is using Perplexity or using ChatGPT, you can accomplish something very similar for this type of thing.
And it looks like it's typed on a typewriter too.
Yeah. Yeah, that's because it's in text format. And then I
Yeah.
could
Yeah.
say, would you like me to turn it into a more polished, let's call it a two-column. So we go here.
I think text is Courier font.
I know, the old-fashioned one that looks like a typewriter.
Yeah, ask if
Oh,
it'll do
what do you
two
mean?
column.
What do you mean old?
We'll go ahead and close that.
I was 87 on Monday.
Oh, God, thank God somebody's older than me. I'm 86. So no
I said
biggie.
that for you. I said that for
Oh,
your
good.
benefit, so you could say that again.
Okay, you know me well.
It's all right.
Wait, is this a Perplexity Pro? I keep seeing upgrade.
No, I don't have
Ah,
Pro.
oh,
And it-
cool.
Oh, good. It did
it-
columns
it-
for
it-
you.
it-
Okay.
And look
Go, Di.
what we got here, and then you can put pictures in there, and
Right.
wow,
Yeah,
that
mine wouldn't
that
do
is,
columns. Yeah.
now that is much better than ChatGPT, obviously.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So we'll put a plus or a star on Jolin's report card.
What can you like right click on it and find out what font it's using and points?
No, but you
What
can copy it and put it into a document and
Yeah.
change it to your heart's
Well,
content.
yeah.
Edit it to your
You
heart's
can do
content.
that or just download it.
Well,
You
that's
could
what
change
Use
that.
HTML.
Oh, it's HTML now. I don't know what
Well, yeah,
HTML.
or you can publish it. Again, you can start playing with these things, edit it, and so on. But and then you can change the font to whatever you want.
I mean, that's a beautiful font.
And if you don't know what font it is, there's an AI program that'll go out and look at the font and try to discover what it is, and it'll tell you what it is.
Of course there is.
I have
use
found
it. It's in.
Perplexity.
I use. I'm sorry, John, but let me just
Go ahead. Go ahead.
in Galaxy AI.
What happened to our newsletter?
Oh, I minimized it.
Okay, don't get rid of it. You need to send it to us just for grants.
Oh, you get the video and try it yourself. Let's see, what was I going to do here? Oh, okay, come down
That's
here.
what I'm gonna do.
And then we're going to say, I think it's called Font Finder or something like that. No, just say font. Font generator, font identifier, image to text. So you take a picture of it and then you drop the picture in and it'll figure out what font it is and tell you, or what some choices are to look at very similar to it. So yeah, this is using AI. Okay, let's
On the fly.
Who was asking about can you use it on your phone? Well, I was in New York and we flew it. My daughter and I were there for a seminar, and it was daddy, daughter, and my birthday all in one celebration. So we were going over a bridge where I had no idea we were going over one of the, I think it was East River. And we stopped because of traffic, and I took my phone out and I took a picture out the window, and I said, "What am I looking at?" So it came back. It told me the bridge. I didn't know this. There was a trolley tram line. It said up above is a tram line, and a little while later the tram came by. There was a tugboat in the river, barely visible, and it told me the name of the tugboat and what it was pushing.
What about the captain's name and his children?
Yeah, and how many people were?
I was waiting for it to say he was wearing blue underwear or some damn thing. But it blew my daughter away because she's not into AI. She's artistic and she has her own business, but
I love it.
She doesn't have time. And I was so happy because you can't tell anybody about what it'll do and everything. And the best thing is to show them, and that's what we all learn. I learned particularly, and that's why I love the Huey's program, his getting us together, because that's the fastest way to learn is what Huey's doing. You have no idea, Huey, what service you're doing here. Well, I think you hope you do, but at any rate, that blew me away. Now let me tell you the rest of the story. So we get in this cab. It said Uber, but it wasn't Uber. And the guy gives us the phone and he says, where, and we type in his cell phone that he's holding where to go, the address. We're going to the Hard Rock Cafe Hotel. He's going through town all over the place, and my daughter and I are talking, and I said, well, she knows a little bit of New York. She says something. He's talking to the phone. He gives us the phone back, and he can't speak English, but he can drive a cab in New York, and he communicates with us by putting the phone over his shoulders to read what he's saying. So he
Yeah.
hears us, and he's translating. So this is 2026. You don't know how to speak English. You can transport somebody from the airport to a hotel in Manhattan, and you know the streets like that. And then and then when we got to the hotel on his phone, he had, it came up with a price and all the taxes they get in New York and stuff. And then he puts on the phone, please give cash tip. And
Okay.
he was from Colombia. That's it. I'm done.
All right. But the thing is, the translator's on all the phones now, and they work very well. So if you're in a situation where you need to communicate with somebody, you can do it that way. I have my Walmart Plus and my and a couple other things I've had where the drivers didn't speak any English, and we had to communicate. And they would put it in their phone, and I'd read it in English. I'd write something in English and hand it back, and it would translate it in whatever language they had. It was great, and uh, these things are in your hands now. You just don't or you haven't had to use them, or you don't know how to use them. But it's there, most likely. And if it isn't, you can download it for free.
And that makes it easier because you gave up your car.
Yep, I don't use a car. I don't have a car anymore. And so I am Ubering a lot, and sometimes the drivers don't speak English. But most of the time, because you put it all in advance, I don't need to speak to them anyway. And I sometimes prefer that. I don't have to talk to anybody. I just sit there and enjoy the ride. But yeah, it's amazing what you have in your hands when you're holding your phone and what it can do if you want to learn how to do it. And a lot of this AI will work on phones and do a very good job. And like I can't remember who it was. Oh, I think it was Jala was saying that she did some things on her phone, but when she got back home, she opened that same AI program. And like Carl was showing us that he could go back and look at what he did, it's there. And so you can do it in your car when you get home. You can get on your computer and it's all right there to continue where you left off or to finish your discussion or get information or do something. And that's the nice thing about it. And if you own an Android phone, I've got the actual Google phone, but if you could just say, "Hey G," and it says, "What can I do for you?" And I ask it a question, and people are sitting around me. They ask me, "Is that person still alive, or is that actor still alive, or where can I find this, or what's the story on this?" And I just say, "Hey G," uh, and then ask it, and it spits out the answer, and the people look at me.
Yeah, I really like the Android Auto, and my Hyundai actually has a button to press to actually ask for a question or to make a phone call. But I think what I really like about being able to do that on the phone, if I had not done that, I would have forgotten that question by the time I got home. That was maybe a mile and a half away.
Yep.
So
Oh,
to
no.
have had that thought to do that, then I have it, and I didn't have to look at it, I didn't have to read it then because I knew it was going to be there when I got home.
Yeah.
I'm becoming more and more enamored of all this fancy
Well,
stuff.
it's not only that, it's integrated. Like you mentioned, Android Auto. I mean, Android Auto now incorporates Gemini. And I mean, that was one of the biggest things I found. I mean, I've had navigation in my vehicle since, well, the early 2000s. And I mean, I started out with Garmin's and I had a bunch of them. And I mean, I was a Garmin fan. But then I had a Ford with the Ford navigation. And I really liked that. But then when I got my latest new vehicle, my 25, it's got Android Auto. So I thought, well, we'll try it because I have to pay for the Ford navigation as of July. So I've been using Android Auto, and I really prefer Android Auto because I can just say, "Hey Google, where's the nearest Wendy's?" And it says, "Well, there's this Wendy's here, 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 and here. Which one do you want to go to?" I couldn't do that with Ford navigation.
And Huey, you'll love this. Back in the day, I have three kids. Two would sit in the back seat. One would need to sit up front with mom with a notebook. We'd be on the freeway going someplace. Mom's brain is freewheeling, thinking of ideas. I would talk them out loud and they would write them down for me.
Mhm. Now you don't need the kids there. You're just
I
gonna have your
know
phone.
they wouldn't be caught dead driving with their mother now, but it's just AI takes their place.
Well, some of you may be familiar with the Pebble watch or wrist thing. Well, they also had a Kickstarter or one of those similar ones. I'm trying to get it off my finger now. It's not, I don't have the real thing, but what I do have is a sizer. And this is the size it's going to be. And they sent me a whole different ring sizes, and they said wear it for a couple of days and see if that's going to work for you. And it's got a little button, and that's all it's going to have when I get it. And all I have to do is push that button and speak into it or whisper into it, and it will send it to my phone. And then from my phone, I can do whatever I want with it. So I don't even have to pick up the phone anymore. Once I get this thing, you just push the button, you talk to it, push the button again and stop. And I'll wear it, and they say wear it 24 hours a day. You can wash your hands with it and everything else. So that's going to be my latest toy when I get it.
And you don't even have to charge it. After 2 years, you just throw it away.
Yep, it doesn't. You don't charge it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing the stuff
What's
that
it called?
Yeah, what's it
It's
called?
an Index 01. It's from Pebble, Pebble.
Oh, Pebble.
The same people had the Pebble phones, which are they now have come out with them again, I guess.
Pebble makes
Or
trackers
not
too.
phones, not phones, wrist watches, Pebble watches.
Mhm.
Or
They make trackers too.
But by the way, I was in Las Vegas in February, and there was a guy had a brand new Tesla, and it was only about not quite 2 months old. And so we were driving, pretty busy. It wasn't real like not like Manhattan. But I said, well, do you have hands free? So he says, yeah. So he's going like this. It's going between the traffic by itself. It's changing lanes. And he said, well, he's only going to have it for another few weeks because it's a subscription service that automated driving. And I said what it was like several $100s a year. And he said it really doesn't make sense for in the urban area to have it. But I'll tell you one conclusion. This is my last thought. It would never work in New York. Period. It will not because people cut in and out. We were in the right lane and the guy's going down the service pavement, for emergency vehicles to get in front of us so he could hit the ramp before anybody else. And it would never work. If you had it automatic, it would take you hours because the autonomous vehicle would say, wait, we're not going to have an accident.
yeah, I know when I was a kid when we'd be in New York, I always said I would never drive in New York City, and I never have. Okay, any other comments? We've been talking about a few things here. Anybody else try something new? And JJ, you been up to anything new in AI?
Nothing new, just playing around. Like I said, just finished up a couple of presentations on what is AI for my senior center. Other than that, nothing new.
Yeah, I'm working on everybody where I talked on AI for an hour in the last year or so, they want another one. So I'm doing an update with some of the newer stuff for groups. And so groups that have had me before on AI, they can have me again.
Good.
And so I'm going to show some of the newer things. But You know what? I got to learn it first. I got into something last week that I wanted to do a demo on, and I started to do it, and I said, "Gee, I got to try that," and then it didn't work right, and I had to try something else, and so I had spent a long time learning how to do it to show people what it was. Cheryl, question, comment?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yep, fine and loud and clear.
Something new that I did. I sometimes I think I'm way behind you guys, but I'm on my homeowners association. I'm not that pleased with that, but I've been doing some contractual work, and our bidder, we have an irrigation system, and our contractor had put in a parts table into the contract, and I'll swear they were trying to obfuscate it because it was like it was a picture that was embedded in the document. It was like 4 pages of unreadable tiny print. And I asked Gemini to try to extract that and put it into a spreadsheet for me. And it got, this was like 4 pages of parts. And I had to double check it, and there were like 4 errors in it, but that saved me so much time. It was just, to me, it was really incredible and really useful. So I thought I'd offer that. I'm trying to experiment more with spreadsheeting or just taking PDF files, financial files for the HOA of columns and forms, and trying to get them into spreadsheets and have it manipulate them.
Wow.
Very good. Yeah, it can extract information and put it in any kind of order. I'm using something called Plod, which was this hardware that somebody had mentioned to me, and I had our village council, purchase one for me, and I just put it on the table, and it's picking up everybody in the room that gets up and speaks, and then puts together to-do list, and these are things that were done by so and so, and it did a fantastic job with it, and then it actually created an agenda, not an agenda, minutes of the meeting. And I printed it out. It's 15 pages long. But I mean, it said everything of what people, and it grouped things, so you knew what some of it were repeats, but it put it in orders that for people to this is what this person needs to do, and that person needs to do, and what needs to be done for the next meeting, and so on. And it just did a great job. So putting together minutes to a meeting is just amazing, and it did the recording, and then it transcribes it, and then it writes the reports afterwards. You know,
Better than AI summary?
oh yeah, yeah. Uh, but this is a live meeting where we're all in the same room, but it's a big room.
And the name was?
PLAUD. And it's the Pro that I bought. So far, been very happy with it.
Does anybody remember a TV show back in 1979 called Battlestar Galactica?
We're not
Yeah.
that.
It was a science fiction program with Lauren Green, and he would sit in his office with a CRT monitor, a really advanced computer screen and everything, and he would talk into a microphone, and they would show the screen actually print out the words that he was saying. Yeah, I mean, back then that was real science fiction. Now it seems so passé. It's like ancient history.
Yeah, well, we've lived through a lot of those kind of things.
Yeah.
Dick Tracy with his wrist.
Oh yeah, that's
phone.
cool.
And now we all have access to one reasonably. So yeah, it's we've come a long way, and our kids will see things that we dreamt about, or would still dream about, and that's the way of the world.
I'm still
Yeah.
waiting for my shoe phone.
Actually, folks, here's another thing. I asked ChatGPT yesterday about the nuclear powered engines that they have in those aircraft carriers. And I said, how come we're not using that technology for a
You ever
spacecraft
wonder?
yet?
They're
And
not
it
they're
told
not
me
nuclear
that
power.
it told me that in 2028 we're scheduled to launch our first nuclear powered spaceship.
Mm-hmm.
Did it tell you who's going to do it and who's manufacturing it?
It's some organization in the United States. And it's going to have a solid rocket, conventional boosters that get it from the ground into outer space. And then they'll power up the nuclear powered reactor, and it will generate electricity and somehow generate thrust to push it through space. And I said to myself, there was a Star Trek movie that they did on TV where they said it was something related to the first contact, Star Trek First Contact, and it was a spaceship that left the ground on using conventional power, and then they turned on the nuclear powered after booster. Same exact thing as they're going to be doing for real in a couple of years.
Back in the day, my Rocketdyne in San Fernando Valley used to make the engines for them. Too cool. Thanks
I'm
for
still
that.
waiting for my jetpack.
Just a heads up, we don't have nuclear power engines on aircraft carriers.
No, but they were designed in the 50s, though.
Well, here, Ken, the nuclear power basically creates the steam for the engines.
Yeah. What it does is it heats up air and water and uses the steam to propel the propeller.
Oh yeah, as a Navy guy, I can tell you all about it.
And it's actually safer than the ones that can.
Sounds like a steam locomotive to me.
That's basically all it is. But here again, we're using hot steam to turn the turbine engines.
Yeah.
Yeah, more like electric trains that use.
And we just had the steam locomotive come into Sacramento from Wyoming on a test run, and the president of the group in San Diego flew up to see it, to take pictures of it. He was just fascinated. In one of his meetings, he showed us what he saw and everything, and it'll be on the East Coast with you guys for the 250th celebration. And it was just way cool.
Okay. We're getting down to the end. Any other AI stuff that anybody's tried or want to try or?
No.
Jolyn, you've been using Perplexity, and you're real pleased with it, correct?
Tremendously so. I yeah. TMI. I'm not going to go there. I just really like the way it responds to my questions. It knows, as we've discussed, it remembers who I am, what I do. And if I ask it a question, it will very often weave into the computer club or my musical group or or whatever I'm talking about. It has kept track, and I, other than my own inability to organize things any better, I do like the fact that they have something called spaces, and you can put each chat into a space, and then like chats become part of one space, and it's easier to find if I've done a whole bunch of questions on Windows 11 to share with the computer club, I can go in there and still find them. So I'm really comfortably pleased with Perplexity in the way that I work. I don't think it's necessary for everybody. I also have Gemini Pro because of my Google account. So I've got access to that. And Michael Daniels this past week have been talking about the updates and the evolution of Gemini and the inclusion of gems and notebooks and how that's working. And that intrigues me. And I when I have finished doing all I need to do, I'll probably play with that more to do some of the things I'd like to do. So
yeah, they're all playing leapfrog with each other and coming
very
up
much
with
so.
new ideas and so
Very
on.
much
So once you find one you're comfortable with, it's good to use that. But try some of the other things as they come out.
without a
Harry,
doubt.
You're
Yeah,
trying to raise your hand.
I use Perplexity also, and I find that it's exceptionally good at making comparisons. I can't say that it's better than the others, but in the last like 3 months, it seems to have gotten better, or maybe I've gotten better at the prompt phrasing it the way I would like the result to come out.
Oh
Not
yes.
just comparing price, but why might I choose this one over this one?
I got a question for Drew.
Yes.
Are you using Microsoft or 365 and Copilot Pro?
I have it loaded, but I haven't done anything advanced with it yet. I've only done some minor stuff because I actually have a presentation that I'm putting together for next 2 months, and I'll be using it for that. So I'm going to give it a try, probably next week.
Well, I made Drew part of my family with Microsoft Family, and I
Yeah.
did it for what's the right word? Selfish reasons. Because I know Drew is so smart that he's going to learn
I'm
how
going
to
to learn.
do
I'm going to
things.
learn how to.
He's going to learn to do things in Copilot that I never imagined. So I'm waiting for you,
And
Drew.
so yeah, I'm gonna start calling you my adopted dad.
Well, I could be your dad, that's for sure. And by the way, remember a while back, I told you I used a Copilot to fix my refrigerator,
Yep.
and which I never would expect, be like using Perplexity or something or uh, whatever Claude for fixing a refrigerator. First time I told it, what it was making ice, but it wasn't dispensing. It was an ice maker, and I said I think it might be an electrical problem. So then proceed to tell me how to take the door off the refrigerator to trace the wiring. And then I couldn't remember. I wanted to print it out, and I told you I couldn't print it out. So I went back to it. I said, hell, I'm not going to do that. So I was asked again, my refrigerator makes ice, but it doesn't dispense. What's the problem? He said, did you do a reset? I said, what's a reset? He said, unplug it for a minute. I unplugged it for a minute, plugged it back in, and the damn thing's been working perfectly for months.
And it too was rebooted.
It was
Microsoft
rebooted.
solution.
And it said to me, it said the modern refrigerator, my refrigerator is about 5 years old. It says, are computer controlled. And like all computers, once in a while they have to be reset. It's talking to me like I'm talking to you. And so what I was telling somebody else about it, who was very adept in AI, and I was in New York, he said, Carl, if you ask a technical question of Gemini or ChatGPT, it's going to come back with a technical solution. The second time you asked it, just what is it, what I need to do to get it to work, and it told you unplug it.
Yeah.
Just don't do that if you're a hospital attendant and unplug and plug back in some life support
Well, that's a
items.
good, yeah. Not my respirator, anyways.
Okay, Bill George, final question.
AI seems to be evolving into agentic AI. In particular, one is called OpenClaw. Are we going to get into that at all in the future?
I kind of looked into that and back when they were first talking about agentic and agents and so on, and I got a feeling it's above what we need and can find use for. I think it's more for people who want to do a whole series of things and turn on and use one AI for something and then do something else and so on and have it do it with programs and have it write programs to do it and so on. It may be above what a lot of us will be using it for. I don't know. I haven't tried to learn it because I don't have a use for it. I don't have anything that I need to automate to the point where I can just tell it do it and it's going to run a couple of things. And I'm kind of afraid of doing that for shopping because I watched one guy, he was playing around with it. Gosh, it's got to be a year ago or not or so, but he was testing automatic ordering and he ended up it was trying to order 400 rolls of toilet paper for him. So
From Costco.
so that always worries me. And the same thing I used when I had a car, having the phone dial for me by just saying their name. Gosh, it makes a lot of mistakes when you do that. And I don't want to call Judy in the middle of the night when I'm trying to call Carl.
What are you calling Carl in the middle of the night for?
I don't know. Because he's got a story to tell me.
Uh-huh.
Bill, your hand's still up. Is there anything more you wanted to add? Okay, on that note, I think we're over a couple of minutes, but that's fine. This was fun. And I hope you learned something. I know I have. I'm going to have to play with that newsletter thing a little bit more. And I think we've got some other things to play with. We'll do this again next month.
Right.
Thanks for coming.
Thanks.
Let's
And
talk AI again.
I hope it was just so much fun as this one. I just laughed the whole entire time with all the new stuff. It is so cool.
Thanks,
Absolutely.
Great.
Bye all.
See you soon.
Bye all.